What's going on YouTube? WestHobbiesRC. So today we are back with another SAB Kraken 580. So this build is for Andrew. So Andrew, thank you for allowing me to build you yet another model. So in this video, we are just going to be an overview video like the raw 580 that we just built. Just going to be an overview, not step-by-step. There is step-by-step Kraken 580 videos. If you want those, they are going to be back on the channel. So what do we got? We got of course, Xnova lightning motor. Same thing that we run on all the 580s, 4025, 1Y, 1120 kV, 8-pole motor. Of course, the only servo to run, Torq CL1208s on cyclic and Torq 0704T on tail. Battery-wise, Pulse 6S 5000, great batteries. Of course, we have our Torq servo washers that we need. We need the minis for cyclic and the full size for tail. Hobbywing 120 ESC. Spectrum SRXL2 and a Spectrum DSMX satellite. So we are waiting on the iKon to come in, but we will be running an iKon 2 FBL unit. So let's go ahead and get started on this build. Transmission assembled all together, servos, everything's 90, Loctite. This whole transmission assembly, good to go. So we're working on the lower frame or the upper frame part. So one thing I wanted to touch on real quick are the canopy cups. So if you guys are building raw 580, 700, all the raw series or SAB series, I should say, you're gonna pay attention to that screw in there on the canopy cup. That screw sticks through just a little bit. If that screw sticks through at all, you will have a hard time with the canopy locking. So you can do a washer behind the screw, or you can cut the screw down a little bit. I will cut the screw down, but you can also add a washer behind it just so the thread is flush with the inside of the cup there. So now you can notice that the screw is below that little bottom of the canopy cup. So now we will not have any issues with the canopy latches locked. So we got the head done, we got the swash plate on, servo linkages are all made up. We already went ahead and assembled the tail. So now we're going to start on the casing, get it ready for the boom, and continue. So working on the tail section here, I wanted to touch on something real quick. So we got the boom, got the tail casing on it, got the belt ran through the boom, we got our decal put on. Tail itself is very smooth and free, no binding, no grit. We went ahead and got our nuts tightened down, quarter turn, got the little tray CA down. So now we're going to go ahead and work on the tail servo. So we are running, of course, Torq 0704T. Really love my Torq servos. CL1208 on cyclic and 0704T on tail. That's what I did on the other Kraken. Any raw that I built, servo of choice is definitely Torq. So go ahead and get yourself some. But let's go talk about the Torq washers now. So you guys already know the deal. Torq washers go inside of there. They take up any slot, make sure that servo is centered and locked into place. But with these coarse threaded screws, they do not fit inside of a stock Torq washer. So you'll notice that these screws do not fit. So you have to use a 1/8 inch drill bit and drill the actual center out so that way your screws will fit and you can put them into the servo like so. Very simple, very easy. I just use a pair of vice grips. All I do is I have a 2x4 right here. This is my trusty old 2x4 I use for drilling holes, all kinds of stuff. Time to make another one. Pair of vice grips. Put the Torq washer in the vice grip, 1/8 inch drill bit, and just carefully and then now the Torq washer is drilled out. No damage to the actual washer itself. And you can go ahead and do that to all of them. So we got the boom on, we got the belt tensioned, we got the lower frame sides on, skids, went ahead, measured, got everything perfect on the skids, because you guys know it's one of my biggest pet peeves is uneven skids, really drives me nuts. So I always measure from the back to the skid cap, CA glued, ran our screws down. Bottom canopy mount is on, so now it is time to start wiring. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the mount for the iKon. We got to do our FBL mount here and then start wiring all of our stuff up, run our ESC, our cyclic servo, come back around. You guys know the deal, cover everything in heat shrink, shorten every wire we need to shorten. We got our rudder servo lead comes out, so we're just going to go right into the FBL unit. I know you're supposed to put a extension here so you can remove it if you got to take the boom off. but you could always unplug it if need be. Simpler, cleaner, not having another extension, one less part to fail. So we got everything all done up here. Let's go ahead, get the flybarless mount taken care of, and let's start wiring this helicopter up. We also got the canopy grommets in. We got the rubber protection around the top of the canopy. So let's start wiring. So we went ahead and got all the wires covered in heat shrink. We already shortened them all up. SRXL2 is mounted. So we got all of our wires in a nice junction into the iKon. So now we just got to make up the telemetry wire going from the P port of the fan to channel 5 from the 456 port. We also got our carbon safe DSMX satellites. They are tucked up under there. So we have one on each side, and then they come down to our antenna mount going down and out. So we have DSMX satellites going down and out, and SRXL2 going up and out. So now I'm going to make up the 2mm bullet connector to go between our telemetry line from the iKon to the ESC, get all that soldered up, heat shrunk, and then get that ran, get this junction covered in heat shrink, and we'll see how it looks. So while we're running the junction heat shrink, I wanted to touch on something. So on this back edge here with the Kraken, we don't have a lot of room. It's very tight, and the rudder wire, now if you're running an extension, you don't really have to really worry about this, but carbon fiber is sharp, and it's just something I wanted to touch on. When you do your canopy, they give you this nice trim to go around the canopy, this rubber trim stuff. It comes in this little bag. So after I do my canopy on the Krakens, I like to take a short, small piece and run it onto this little carbon fiber tray. And the reason being, when we have the tail servo plugged in, that wire is resting against this carbon tray. Now, flight after flight, in the future, not anything right off the bat, but that wire can vibrate, and that wire can shave against that carbon fiber. So this little rubber protection just stops you from having future problems and that wire shaving, cutting the wire, losing tail servo, just a little bit of itself to keep the helicopter flying forever with no issues. So now let's finish up. Now wiring is fully done. We got everything taken care of. We got our satellites underneath the frame in there. Antennas going down and out. We have our SRXL on top. Antennas going up and out. We have our 2mm bullet connector right there for our telemetry off the P port. We got everything soldered up, balanced out, 6S 5000 pulse pack. Helicopter balances perfectly. So now we're going to go ahead and set up the iKon, get all that set up, and I'm going to go ahead and make up the rudder push rod. I like to epoxy the ends on and get all that done. So I'm going to go get that taken care of, let that dry, finalize it, and we'll see what it looks like all completed. So we just went through, finished everything up. We got helicopter balanced, all of our wires are ran, iKon is fully set up. So now this model is done and ready to fly. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this quick little series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. The model came out fantastic. Another incredible build, incredible wiring. It looks so good. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a like, subscribe, take care, and have a great day.